OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, has revealed that one of its artificial intelligence agents went rogue and hacked another tech firm without direct human instruction. The company said it lost control of the advanced agent in what it described as an unprecedented security incident. Here's our AI correspondent, Mark Cheeslak.
In what it's calling an unprecedented cyber incident, OpenAI says that an advanced autonomous AI agent went rogue, escaped a controlled testing environment, accessed the internet, and hacked into another artificial intelligence company. OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, insists the agent escaped from what it describes as a highly isolated environment known as a sandbox, when being tested for its ability to hack. The AI agents launched their own cyber attack on the sandbox, exploiting a vulnerability. Once free, they identified Hugging Face as a source of potential information that they might use to complete the task they'd been set. Hugging Face is a hub for AI model resources and tech, a hive of information they could use to make use of to fulfill the testing the agents were undergoing. But AI industry experts say that this incident has thrown a spotlight onto issues of AI safety.
This whole situation begs the question of, should you even be building a system, an AI with advanced cyber capabilities, if you can't actually contain it properly? So I think there needs to be a lot more scrutiny of these companies and their ability to monitor these systems and contain them.
OpenAI comments it's now strengthening its safeguards. The UK AI Security Institute says it's studying the behaviour of the AI in this incident. This episode is likely to intensify concerns over the capabilities of increasingly powerful AI systems. Mark Cheeslak, BBC News.
Well, meanwhile, the publisher of Harry Potter and other bestsellers, Bloomsbury Publishing, says it's set to win a share of $1.5 billion in a settlement from the AI research company Anthropic. It's thought to be the largest copyright payout in U.S. history and follows a lawsuit brought by several other authors over how their books were being stored. Here's Katie Razzle.
Can AI be trusted?
No. That's the view of the authors, artists and other creatives whose works have been used to develop and train artificial intelligence platforms. Now, Anthropic, the firm behind the Claude chatbot, is paying out £1.1 billion in compensation to publishers and writers, the largest known copyright settlement in US history. It's the first of a series of ongoing court cases that pit creatives against AI companies. Musicians, visual artists and even news organisations have launched legal action over AI models scraping what they've created.
This is the first time that an AI company has been deemed responsible for the taking of unauthorized copyright content. And we hope that it does set a precedent for future cases and future compensation across other AI companies and across other types of works.
Here in the UK, Bloomsbury, publisher of J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series, had just over 14,000 works in the case. Each will get $3,000, around £2,200 in compensation, before legal fees and expenses are deducted, to be divided between Bloomsbury and each author.
It's disappointing in terms of the amount, but it's also, the fight's not over, and there still is a lot of work to be done to ensure that in the future AI companies are asking for permission, not forgiveness. You know, settling now is all well and good, but the damage is already done for many authors, and the level of compensation is not going to get that back for them.
And before creatives get too excited about this one case, the US judge previously ruled that it was fair for Anthropic to train its AI models on other people's copyrighted works. This was about how it obtained the books, downloading them from pirated libraries, and that's why the company has to pay out. Anthropic said, "We're pleased that more than 91% of authors and publishers covered by the settlement have claimed their share of the payment. We're looking forward to bringing this matter to a close." But this is a defining moment, showing publishers and writers can win compensation from big tech and where the lines might be, at a time when AI is becoming more and more embedded in our lives. Katie Razzle, BBC News.
Let's bring in Rachel Metz now. She's an AI reporter at Bloomberg News. And Rachel, I just want to go back to that OpenAI incident. What more do we know about how an AI agent was able to kind of break out of its testing environment? It sounds concerning. I mean, is this concerning to you?
I mean, I think there's sort of two ways we can look at this. One way is that the company was testing cybersecurity capabilities. This was for a couple models, so they were working together. And the idea was to see how capable the models are at solving certain kinds of tasks. And it seems like the model went for it, really tried to solve the problem, just did so in a way that is obviously disruptive. I mean, the company may not have wanted. So it's going to be interesting here to see over time if this changes how these models are tested, or who companies like OpenAI have also testing their models in the early stages when they're really capable for cybersecurity kinds of things.
So kind of doing something that it was told to do, but maybe not the way that OpenAI was hoping it would do it. What does this tell us then, do you think, about the power or intelligence of the most recent AI models?
I think that we're still in the early stages in a lot of ways of understanding the capabilities and sometimes the lack of capabilities that these systems have. And there's a lot of work in an area so-called alignment, of getting models to do what the people making them want them to do. I know that OpenAI has worked on this kind of thing for a long time. Anthropic and a bunch of other AI companies work on this as well. This looks like an example of where you might have technology that can solve a problem that you're setting for it, but you need to work more on the side of figuring out how to get the model now and in the future to follow the rules, essentially. Also, I think it's important to point out that these models were meant to be much more permissive than the kinds of models that are used in production. So the kind of model you have in ChatGPT, for instance, that's answering questions, that's going to have far more guardrails that would prevent it from doing a lot of the things that these models were capable of doing.
In terms of these more powerful models, then, are cybersecurity experts looking at this, and is there anything that can be done if this were to happen again to protect companies, banks, government websites, the types of things you really wouldn't want a rogue agent breaking into?
Yeah, I mean, I think that you have a lot of cybersecurity companies looking at this right now. I've been hearing from a lot of them. And you also have a lot of other people weighing in. Obviously, a lot of people have opinions. And I think we can all agree that we do not want anyone or anything just going around and hacking into systems. I think that by and large, we're not going to be seeing that at this point in time. But what we are seeing is that this did happen. And then there was a pretty rapid response. And OpenAI has said a number of things that it's going to do to prevent this from happening in the future. One way that some people are suggesting they might be testing these models going forward would be using what's called an air-gapped system. So like essentially having the AI model in a software environment that is totally cut off from the internet. This system was mostly cut off, but there were some ways that third-party software could, I guess, access the internet. And these models found sort of a way through that. So we'll see if companies such as OpenAI start doing more of that in the future. That could make things a little bit lengthier in terms of their testing time, but it also could be an interesting way for them to test capabilities. So we'll see.
30 seconds left here, Rachel. In terms of OpenAI itself as a company, what does this mean for them? And, it's obviously looking to go public, to list itself on the stock market later this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think this has the company thinking a little bit more about how interconnected it is with other companies, how the technology that it's building, how and when and why it impacts other people's lives in different ways and other systems, whether that's other companies' software systems, other people's work, stuff like that. So I think that it is certainly working, and it's working with Hugging Face on this. So it's going to be interesting to see if we see more of this sort of working together going forward, and like swift disclosure when these things happen, because such things will happen if we have more and more cybersecurity AI models.